Hey guys, now in today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can keep your floors swept and mopped just with the simple push of a button or with a command from your voice. And if you'd like to automate it even further with a simple routine. Today, we're going to take a look at the X30 Ultra. This is a robot vac that we saw at CES, and it is packed with power. And one of the cool things is if you have pets, this features a tangle-free solution that's going to be able to pick up the pet hair and you won't ever have to worry about it being tangled. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, the X30 Ultra is packed with features. We're talking about 8,300 PAs of suction. That is a lot. That means that it's going to be able to pick up within your tiles, those little grooves where you have the grout, it'll be able to pick things up that are stuck there. And if it's going over carpet, it's going to be able to go deep and pick things up as well. So this suction power is important. It has a 6,500 milliamp hour battery that's going to give you hours and hours of usage, so it's going to be able to cover your home without any problem whatsoever. It features this really cool thing that Nola and I kind of like, because as the robot wheels or the scrubbers that go around like this, the mop heads go around, it has this mop extend feature where the mops actually come out a little bit. They kind of like hip bump out, and they're able to get into areas that you typically wouldn't be able to get into. So while most robot vacs have these rotors that are going like this, they stay fixed there. Some of them will turn to the left and some of them will turn to the right to try to get deeper into some corners. But this one actually does that, but it also extends it out to get to the closest areas of your wall, which means that, again, those edges are going to be clean. It also has mop raising technology, which means that if you have a carpet, hardwood floor, or tile, if you go to the carpet area, it's going to raise the mop so it's not wetting the mop, wetting the floor, or in this case, your carpet, right? So it will only wet the parts of the floor that it needs to because of the floor or surface type. It also has hot water washing and hot air drying, which is super important when it comes to these type of robots, because one of the things that I found is that if you have a wet mop that dries wet, as you know, you get this kind of smell on it. If you have a smelly mop, you're going to have smelly floors. So the fact that it hot washes it and it also hot dries it makes sure that you're going to have a clean mop, which means you'll have clean floors as well. Now, it does have also AI technology and 3D obstacle avoidance, which makes it super smart as it's going through your home. As we mentioned, it has carpet recognition, but it also has dirt detection. And we're starting to see this with a lot of robots and manual cleaners, where it will know if something's dirty and it will take care of that area because it detects the dirt. It has remote video, and then the water tanks are rather large. You're talking about 4.5 liters and 4 liters, depending on if it's a clean or the used tank, the dirty tank. So it basically washes itself and then it stores that dirty water, and then you would empty it out. The thing that I like the most is the tangle-free roller. It has built into that roller a blade that actually cuts any kind of string or material that gets into that roller, which is rubberized, and it makes sure that it remains tangle-free. It shreds it, and then it makes it really easy for it to suck it up and then store it in the bag. Now, it has an auto cleaning station too that we saw at CES, and we see this here as well, where basically as it goes back to the docking station, it kind of scrubs your scrubbers, right? It's like, think about it like when you go into a car wash. This thing has its own car wash, and it has these rotors that just make sure that things are nice and clean. Now, the other thing that's cool about this, which makes this 100% worry-free, is that it also has a auto detergent solution that auto adds the solution for you. What else could you ask for? So let's go ahead and check it out. We're going to put it through our EBPMAN tests. We'll see it clean. We'll see how it does with obstacle avoidance. And guess what? This may be your next robot. Now, the X30 Ultra does have a more compact footprint as it compares to the other vacs that I've seen on the market, but it's packed with features. So first thing I want to highlight is the fact that it does have a tank system, top and the bottom. We're going to just take this off so you can see it. So this is our dirty water tank, and I just want to show you, we've been testing this out, and it is dirty. It also then has a clean water tank, and you can see that they're side by side, and they're pretty generous in size, right? Now, in the actual top compartment, there's really not much more but besides just having the tanks there. There are no real controls at the very top here. Nothing's going on in this area. However, inside of this compartment, you're gonna find two things. First, you'll find your, I'd say your dust bag for all of the debris that it's vacuuming up. And then you're gonna find a really ingenious solution that makes it super cool to have a vacuum like this. Let's get a closer look. Now, by removing this portion here, and let me just go ahead and pull it out, there's a couple things that we'll see. First of all, we do have the dust bag, but what I really like about this solution right here is this compartment, or this little
this little adapter that you see here. This little adapter here basically is going to be your compartment for detergent. So you fill this up with detergent and it automatically doses the vacuum. This is super cool. I've seen other units in the past where they have a proprietary system. This one comes with this system. While it is proprietary, you can fill it up as you need to. Love, love, love this. At the very bottom of the robot, you'll notice that you have two rubberized wheels that are going to give you a lot of traction, even on wet surfaces. You have what you would find on standard robots, this little guide wheel right here, your whiskers, and then you have a rubberized sweeper here, right? Now, the cool thing about this is going to be hardwood floor safe, so I haven't experienced any kind of scratches or anything like that going on. And then there is another version of this roller. I don't have that one yet because it's just not out yet. That would basically give you the ability to have, there's like these little blades inside of it that as it's rotating, if there's any dog hair, person hair, any kind of twine, something that gets caught up, it will basically shred it automatically, which I think is pretty spectacular. Now over here, and you're going to hear something in a second. Let's take this off. So it knows when you remove the mop pads, it knows that the mop pad has been removed. And this is the mop pad. It's magnetic. And you're going to notice over here that it has this little area right here that pops out. But what ends up happening is as it's trying to get to the corners, this pops out like this and it extends. Notice how far it could extend. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the side. That's how far that little area extends, giving it a lot of reach. That means it's going to be able to get the corners of the, if you think about your baseboards and you think about the corners that you have that are hard to reach, this guy's going to reach it. It does have a filter, and then it also has a dustbin, but you'll never touch that because everything is going to be sucked up over here. Now in front of the robot, you're going to find that it does have a camera system which allows you to identify objects that are on the floor. It is pet safe and smart. It basically is going to do a 3D map of your home, and it's not going to be the type of robot that's going to be bumping as it's going along as you need it to clean. Now one thing I wanted to show you close up while the robot is out doing its cleaning routine is the actual tray. So this is the tray that as this rotates, it cleans the actual mop heads, and then it actually gets scrubbed here as well. So this is what keeps everything nice and tidy, and also extends the life of those mop pads. Now, a couple things I wanted to highlight about the robot before it actually comes out and starts going through my obstacle course. First of all, as it's cleaning the mop heads, it's using hot water. Second, when it goes back to the knocking station, it's going to use air dry technology, but it's going to be hot air to dry the actual mop heads, which means that you're not going to have smelly mop heads, and also it's going to extend the duration or the life of the mop heads themselves. So those are two cool features that I think are really important. If you have a smelly mop head, you're going to have a smelly floor. So now it's going to come out, and what we're going to be looking at is seeing how well it does as it's going through this small obstacle course that you see here. Now, a couple of things that we'll note is that it is going to use the mopping solution, so it's going to sweep and mop at the same time. And I want you to notice how the mop lays liquid on the floor, and my floors are spot-free. Right, so I do a lot of robot testing, and one of the things I really look for is making sure that it leaves no spots, especially when you have hardwood floors. So you can see the moisture that it's leaving behind right there, and we're going to see how well it does in this area. So it's going to see that there's a cup there. Notice how it stopped. It's going to work its way around the cup. See how well it does. So far, it's doing a good job. And you can see how the little legs right there, or the scrubbers, are extending out a little bit. It saw the other cup and it avoided it as well, right? Because this is my test grid right here. And it saw another one. Look how close it got. And it avoided it as well. And check it out. It even turned on a flashlight to see what's going on. Isn't that cool? So it's going to work its way around it, making sure that it's covering all that area nicely. And it's doing spectacular. It is doing spectacular. It's just working its way around it. This is what I love about these robots. They have advanced so much. And you can see, again, it's leaving some light moisture behind. And one of the nice things about this robot is also is that you can have it, as it's cleaning, actually go left to right or to follow the actual wood itself, if that's something that you're concerned about, making sure that you don't have any damage that could occur to your floors. But I haven't had that experience at all. So you notice how it's cleaning up. You can see the moisture that's leaving behind. And it's just going over this area, but it's avoiding the cups. It's avoiding the cups. That's pretty cool. Love the flashlight. Love the light. And I love how smart this thing is. Now the cool thing is that as it's doing this kind of maze that I have going on here, it's actually cataloging that there was obstacles. So I'm going to see that on the app as well. So I had a really small grid because I wanted to really test it by going through a 4x3 grid, 4 feet by 3 feet, just to see how well it would do and if it would ignore the cups. Now, right now the cups are upside down, but if you can imagine them full of soda, water, juice, which happens many times, it avoided it completely. And now it's going to go back to the docking station. It's going to clean itself up and dry itself as well. Now the cool thing in the dock is that you can see that it has kind of like that scrubbing system, and you can see where the air system is going to come in and come into play. This will scrub the scrubber and keep everything nice and clean. Watch it go back into the docking station. Boom, it's in place now. It's going to suck up any kind of debris, which is going to make a little noise.
Start charging. Start auto empty.
There it goes.
Start cleaning mop pads.
And now notice the mop pads are getting cleaned. Check that out. You can see them rotating right there. Wow, that's super cool. Let's pull back a little bit so you can see that. You can hear the liquid coming through. It's going to keep your floor clean. And the cool thing about this is that it will come back as it's cleaning your floors. If it detects any kind of debris or dirt on the pads, it will do that. Also, it has dirt detection, or if the floor is dirty, it will go back over and over and over in an area too, which is really nice. All right, so we have another test case here, and a couple things I'm looking to do. First of all, I want to see if it's going to be able to distinguish the cups even with a different floor. Now, the cool thing about this robot is as it's mapping your floor, it's doing that map system, it's identifying the type of floor that it's going through. So it knows that this is tile. So it's going to go over here and it's going to work in this area. And what I'm really going to do is see, can it pick up all the coffee grounds, especially in the actual grout line? Because it has a super powerful vac, it should be able to pick this up without a problem. And will it avoid the cups as it has been so far? Now, I've added one more thing that is in every home, USB cables. We are a USB cable jungle. So I want to go ahead and see, is it going to be able to avoid the USB cable as well? Let's see how well it does. There's the coffee grounds. We'll see if it does a good job there. So far, it's passing really well the cup test. Let's see if it keeps on doing it. Saw the cup. There are the coffee grounds. Let's see. USB cable. Will it survive? Ooh, look at that. It did really well with the coffee grounds. Absolutely gone. Nothing in the grout line. USB cable. Oh, oh, oh. No, no, no. All right. So USB cable. Looks like it was a fail. Now, one of the cool things about this robot is as it gets into dark places, I love the way it lights up in order to be able to see better. So you can see it's right now underneath this furniture, and it lit up the spot so you can see what it's doing. And it's going ahead and doing its business, cleaning everything up. Imagine that going under your bed, getting all those dust bunnies. Now, the cool thing about this robot is also, as it's going through, you're going to be able to see, and you'll see it right here, the entire mapping process. So it is real time. You're going to be able to see the robot as it's doing its cleaning. You'll be able to see, and I'll move this over here so you can see where it's at. It's detected that there's some type of furniture there. It didn't really get it as being, what it is, but it knows that there's furniture there, and it's going to continue to work underneath it and just clean this entire area. So you can see kind of like the actual path that it's going through right there. So that's pretty neat. Now, one of the things that you'll notice right here is that I also put up this virtual wall. So you see the little red line there? That's a wall indicating that it cannot pass this area. So I have a formal dining room, or actually formal living room, that I don't want to come in. I just wanted to do this main walkway, which is the most trafficked part of my home because it's where the front door is, and when we walk in, we always walk this. So I have a macro or a routine where it actually goes ahead and cleans this area because it's the area that gets the most walking. And it's the area that, frankly, we come in with shoes on, and the rest of the home is with shoes off.
So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.